Well, hello there and welcome. My name is Rusty Humphries. This is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. It is a busy night tonight, and we'd love for you to participate and for you to check in. If you're watching us live on Facebook Live here on Right Wing News, please let us know who you are. Check in, would you please? Tell me who you are, where you're checking in from, and if you're a deplorable, where you're a deplorable from. Check in. We want to see you. We want to interact. We want you involved. There's a big story today. I was just watching Tucker Carlson a few minutes ago, and there is a big movement. I don't know if you've heard of this yet. There's a big movement called Cal Exit, where there are people that are signing petitions right now to have California leave the union. Would you like them to do it, or should we stop them? Let's watch a little bit of this interview with Tucker Carlson and this Cal Exit guy right here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.
Well, good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. The United States may be losing a star from its flag for the first time ever. That's what activists in the state of California want. Ever since the election of President Trump, the campaign for Cal Exit, the secession of California to become an independent country, has been gaining steam while the rest of us have been talking about Russia. Well, now supporters for that plan believe they are close to breaking away. They're pushing for a 2018 ballot referendum that would declare California no longer an inseparable part of the United States and would order the governor to negotiate for greater autonomy up to and including national independence as a country. If campaigners can get 585,000 signatures by January 22nd of next year, the question will go on the ballot. Shankar Sinam is a Californian. He's campaigning for his state to become a separate nation, and he joins us tonight. Shankar, thanks for coming on. So,
hello.
I mean, this is one of those stories that we have sort of put into the amusing category, kind of a joke. I was in California this morning, and it dawned on me, this is real. This could happen thanks to the ballot initiative system in the state, and this would mean breaking up the United States of America. Do you fully comprehend the implications of this?
Certainly. I don't think it's, you're making it sound as if California's moving 100,000 miles away. We're not. We're still here. We're still trading with each other, communicating with each other. Families are still going to see each other. It's not as if, we're moving millions of miles away. In
well,
fact,
you don't know that. I mean, Haiti and the Dominican Republic are next to each other. They're on the same island, and they're totally separate countries that are hostile to each other. I mean, just because they're contiguous doesn't mean that they're part of the same union anymore. You're breaking up the United States. That's your goal.
They're hostile to each other. We're a nonviolent movement. California is nonviolent. You know our gun policy. I mean, it doesn't have to be hostile, Tucker. We're still here. I mean,
but why would the rest of the states? Why would the rest of us Americans let California go without a war?
Well, I mean, it's really not up to the rest of the states, really, but do the rest of the states really love California? From what I've been hearing, I mean, from the rest of the states, we're snowflakes and we're hippies, and, we don't know, we're in huge debt crisis, and our hospitals are overcrowded, and all the rumors and
those are real.
Those
aren't exactly right. Those are rumors. I don't think of Californians as hippies or snowflakes. I think of them as poor people, because there's more poverty in your state than any other. Well, it's just a fact. But the point is, it's not actually up to California. It's up to the rest of the states whether California can leave the union. And this could quite easily turn into conflict. I mean, it did in the 1860s when South Carolina tried it. Have you thought this through?
Yeah, so, our back poverty level, we have 40 million people here. We are the highest populous state. So, yeah, of course, we have a high poverty level. And as far as up to the rest of the states, if you can think of a reason why you want us to stay, please let me hear it. Because what we've been hearing is that we're nothing but a burden to the United States. And the exact opposite is true. Not only economically, but culturally, we're just a dominant state. We're a global powerhouse.
Well, I'm not against it. Well, keep telling yourself that. I mean, I'm not against. I mean, I'm from California. My family's from there. I was just there, as I said again, this morning. But it just seems like a big move. So let's get specific. If California becomes its own country, do you plan to give citizenship to the illegals within your borders? And do you intend to have a border policy as a country?
Yeah, certainly we're going to have a border policy. If you're a nation, you need your borders. Citizenship to illegals, definitely a pathway to citizenship that's much quicker than what the United States has right now. Definitely, you know, we want them, they're already working, we want them working without that stress. They're a key and integral part to California. We really need them to, they're the backbone of our economy, we're the 5th largest economy, and they are really a big part of it, and so we want them to, you know, be comfortable here and have a good path to citizenship.
What about all the federal land in California, the military bases in California? Those don't belong to the state. Do you pay market value for those?
So, yeah, the military bases we lease out just like Germany does and South Korea does. Just, you know, pay a yearly fee to California. And as far as the federal land, you know...
Wait, hold on. So I'm sorry to interrupt. So you would have foreign troops on your soil, Camp Pendleton. You'd have thousands of Marines from another country in the middle of your country. Why would you do that?
Well, the United States does that to every other country on the planet.
Well, and when we're invited in or we beat them in the Second World War, yeah, we do that. But why would California do that?
Well, you're in, you know, in Japan and in Korea. You're here already. The United States military bases are here. Keep them here. If they want a slow withdrawal, they can slowly take their troops back. It's their bases back. But I have no problem with the United States.
You're using the words they and you. It sounds like you already don't think that you're part of the United States.
Well, this is California, Tucker. We're not the United States. Our values are different. We're fundamentally different in the way we act, we speak, and how we think about the world globally, whether it has to do with war, the climate, environment. We are just a different state. And I know you can understand it, you being from California, and I'm not sure how long you haven't been here yet, but we're going to do things that are going to be beneficial for our state, and we disregard what the United States thinks or even their laws. For example, our marijuana, sanctuary cities, if it's good for the state, we're going to do it, regardless of what the federal law is. So.
I mean, I'm not exactly sure what to say. I think probably you're right in a lot of ways. California is its own country already because of its immigration policy. It's deeply depressing to me as someone who's from there, but I think you're telling the truth in a way, and I appreciate that. I wonder, though, my final question is, you've so mismanaged your little country or state or whatever we're calling it now, economically. There's been a massive exodus of middle-class Californians to neighboring states. Well, I mean, the numbers are there. I mean, you've lost hundreds of thousands of people making between $100,000 and $200,000 over the past 10 years, and they've enriched Idaho and Montana and even Wyoming and Washington State. Like, if it's such a well-run place, why is the middle class leaving?
So, Tucker, you have to look at the bigger picture here. So, 5th largest economy in the world. Now, if you have to repeat that, say it again. We are the 5th largest economy.
Yeah,
you want to call that mismanaged? Fine.
No, but I mean, it's basically the economy of Mexico. You've got a small number of rich people, the tech people, and you've got a ton of poor people, and the middle class is leaving. Like, that's a recipe for instability. You're aware of that, right?
In regards to middle class leaving, that's actually a good thing. We need these spots opened up for the new wave of immigrants to come up. It's what we do. We're exporting our middle class to the United States. You guys should be thanking us for that. Not only that, you know, when our middle class does move out to Texas and to Colorado, they're taking our values out to the United States and to Texas. So if you look at Texas, in fact, all the major cities that Californians are going to, they are turning blue. And soon enough, Texas will be a blue state. And
dude,
all of the red states soon enough.
I don't know if this is like a... I've never met you. I've never heard of you. I don't know. This is like a parody segment. You're punking me, or you're really high and you're just telling the truth because high people do. But you just said you're happy to be exporting the middle class of your state. Now, I happen to think that your policymakers are happy that they're leaving. But the fact that you're admitting this on live TV, bottom line, are you being serious?
Well, I'm only admitting the truth. There's a middle class of people that are leaving California and they're going to Oregon and Colorado and Texas. Yes, there is.
And you're happy about that?
I don't know how. Well, I mean, if they want to move, there's nothing for me to stop them. I mean, I'm sure they'll find out how boring it is and they'll come back. I don't know, but if they choose to live out there, they can live out there.
Right, yeah. Okay. What an amazing interview. Thank you. And I'm sincerely thank you for telling the truth. I appreciate it.
Okay, great job, Tucker Carlson on Fox News Channel. Tucker's a good friend of mine, known him for a long time. And he's right. What an incredible interview. I mean, this guy, he's telling the truth. They really don't like the middle class. We're just going to get rid of them. So my question to you is, should we allow California to leave? Or would you believe that we should have a war, a civil war, if something like that happens? God forbid. Now, I want to take a look at something that a lot of people don't know about. This is a little thing I found online. Good friend of mine posted this a little while ago. And this is U-Haul rates going from Texas to San Diego. And if you take a look, the cheapest one, a 10-foot truck, that's good for an apartment, go for $594. A 15-foot truck, good for an apartment up to 2 bedrooms, goes for $626. Again, that's from Texas, Galveston, Texas, to San Diego. Now, what does it look like if you want to leave the state? Same stuff. Look at this. 10-foot truck, $1,635 if you want to leave with a smaller truck, or a 15-foot truck, $1,720. Again, it's about $1,100 more to leave the state of California, to get out, than it is to go back in. I'm very curious. I'd love for you to check in. If you would do so right here on the page. I'd love to hear from you. Check in. If you'd give us some of those hearts and thumbs ups, those mean so much. This is how we make sure that more and more people see us. If you'd share the video, again, we are trying to spread our message of conservatism, of love for America. We've got so many of these dumbasses out there, guys like we just saw, who think that America's a bad place, who think that what America stands for is wrong. Well, I think he's wrong. And if you agree with me, please share this video right now. Please give us some thumbs up. Give us some hearts. Let people know what you think. Let your friends know that there are people out there that stand up for America, and we're the ones standing up for the little guy. It's not douchebags like that. It's not the Democrat Party. It is people like you and me who want to live in a good, strong America where the middle class is successful. If you would please check in right now. Bryant is an independent from Las Vegas. Brian. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Nancy says, let's hear from those people in California. Speak up. Are you all pea-brained there? David said, I won't even put my feet in California. Brian says, how you doing, Rusty? Hey, Brian. Deborah, if they want to separate from the U.S., build a wall, don't give them any of our money, and let them fend for themselves. Janice says, let them fight their own forest fires. Carolina says, I wish they would, but no matter what they say, they wouldn't leave if they could, just like all the stars that haven't left yet, like they promised, giving the rest of us false hope. Barbara's in Arkansas. Bradley says, friends, shares, let other people know about the show. Yes, thank you, Bradley. I appreciate it. Pamela says, again, move all the liberals to California, build a wall, LOL. Linda says, heavy population areas, nothing like the rest of California. George says, wait, California? Civil War? Who's going to fight? Snowflakes? Gail says, leave, the sooner the better. Jane says, I'm from Southern California, living on the East Coast now, as my state was totally ruined by all of those liberals, so I think they should be allowed to leave. Who needs them? Renee says, let them leave and let Nancy Pelosi, then there will no longer be a problem. Bradley says, dude, I feel sorry for some of the people in California that have common sense. Nick says, no, we should not allow California to leave. Your comments, I want to hear more. That we've got tons of people. Beverly says, let them leave. Listen, I love California. Every summer, I would go and visit my grandparents. They lived in Northern California. I'm going to San Diego next week. I'll be doing the show from San Diego next week. Couple of weeks, I'll be doing the show from Anaheim, right near Disneyland, at a big podcast convention. What I do want, though, is for these people to wake up a little bit. I am sick and tired of them exporting their virus, their cancer, across the country. And what that guy said was true. Well, we've got people leaving California, and they're turning Texas blue, and they're turning all these other places blue. He's absolutely right. Liberalism is a cancer in our country. This phony baloney progressivism, it's a cancer. I grew up in Seattle, and it was not always this liberal wasteland that it has come to be. I'm sure there were some liberal things there, but I remember when the Californians came, and it was devastating to the economy. What happened was you could sell a house in California. I forget. Let's just say you'd sell a house and you'd get like $500,000. And you could take that same $500,000 and buy an enormous piece of property in Seattle at the time. It horribly inflated property values, and it sounded good for a while. But now, I mean, there's some places, good luck trying to buy a house in Seattle. And a lot of that came from the cancer of California. They did the same thing to Oregon. They're doing it in Arizona. And it's because these people want to get the hell out of there. And then these same dumbasses who hate California, they want to get out. Then they say, you know what? Well, we want to change the laws. We want to have more liberal laws. And this is how stupid these people are. Paul says, we've already fought for that land, and it's a part of the U.S. Now, if the people don't like it, then the people don't. They need to go. Okay? Chris says, Cal exit will never happen. It's just a rant from a bunch of angry progressives. I love that one. Money grubbing, spoiled, and in many cases, illegal. Libtards that have no clue. California relies heavily on funding and defense contracts from the U.S. government. There is no way in hell California would be cut off from federal dollars that flow like rivers into their state. No, you're right about that. I don't think they think about that. Did you hear the arrogance of that guy? Well, we're California. We are something special. We are real cool. We are nothing but real special. And a lot of these idiots, believe that they're this important that we can't survive without them. I promise we can survive without them. And I'll tell you something else. I love Disneyland, and I worked at Universal Studios when I was younger. But I'll go to the Florida version, even though they're not as good. I mean, Disney World's better than Disneyland, even though I love the history. But, Universal Studios, I love movies and stuff, but heck, they're not even making movies in California anymore. It's too expensive. If they want to turn it into a real liberal wasteland, they should be more like Venezuela. Earlier today in Venezuela, there was a terrible thing that happened. There was a violent protest in Venezuela, and an explosion blew up a bunch of cops. Look at this terrible video. Happened earlier today. Let's check it out here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. Oh, my God. And people are applauding. Explosion took place amid anti-government protests on Venezuela's election day. Protesters prepared Molotov cocktails to use in the clashes. Oh my gosh. Police threw rubber, tear gas. 10 people have died so far in the clashes between the protesters and the police. Electoral officials say the election turnout was 41.5%, though the opposition disputes that figure. President Nicolas Maduro hailed the poll as a vote for the revolution. Thank you, Milo, for putting that video together for us. There's your liberal, and remember when Hugo Chavez was there and all the lefties went down and, they were so much in love with Venezuela. Yeah, that's really doing great. Jim, you're right. How sick this is. Renee, sick, evil beings. Can't even call them human. Do they still have to get their water piped in from other places? Janice says, Venezuela, if goes socialism, North Korea is going to move missiles there. You might be right. Mike is checking in from Scarsdale, New York. Cody says, I really have a hard time believing that people are leaving, taking the ideas and policies with them. They are leaving because they're fed up with those insane ideas. You're right about that, The problem is, Cody, they are bringing the ideas with them. I'm telling you that they are going out of their way in state after state after state to change the policies to be more like California. It's really bad. And I've seen it happen in numerous places across the country. Another thing happened over the weekend. Our old friend Ben Shapiro, who, by the way, has endorsed my book, 7 Ways to Win Political Debates with Your Liberal Family and Friends and Still Keep Them as Family and Friends. As a matter of fact, let's take a look. What did Ben say? Here's Ben in the book. Whoops, right there. Ben says, Rusty Humphries' new book is a textbook on debating the left. Read it now and become a better fighter for the cause. Ben Shapiro. Well, Ben has done nothing but increase his popularity and his fame because of his incredible debating techniques. I've known Ben for years and years. But there was a great thing over the weekend. It was called Politicon over the weekend, and it was Democrats and Republicans getting together, and there was a big battle. Ben Shapiro was Cenk Uygur, or Cenk Uygur, the guy from the Young Turks. This guy has gotten millions of dollars from left-wing loons to keep him on the air. Hardly anybody watches this show, but he somehow gets tons and tons of money from lefties to keep him on the air. And he's been on every lefty network possible. And it just never works because he's not, what's the word? He's not good. He's not very good. But there was a debate on Sunday, and I watched a little bit of it live, and I want to show it to you. It was pretty good. Ben Shapiro mops the floor with Cenk Uygur at the Politicon debate. Here it is on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.
When you say money in politics is bad, again, I ask you, Buddy Roemer gave you $4 million to start TYT. What did he expect in return? Should he not have given you money? Was the money not speech? It was just money, after all. It's just like a hooker, I assume. So are you the prostitute? How did this work? When you take money from Al Jazeera, does that make you a hooker for the Qataris? How does that work?
That was an awesome conflation. Okay, we were talking about money in politics and how money is not speech when you give it as a campaign donation, and you turn it around to a business investment. You know, in a business investment, it has nothing to do with speech. Money is money. They gave us an investment, because they believed in our business. That has nothing to do with politics.
That's great. And you think the government is in the business of regulating business. So if the government is in the business of regulating business, what would be the problem with the government telling Buddy Roemer he is not allowed to invest in your business?
No, those are two different issues. No problem. No, one thing is to say, hey, let's set reasonable limitations on what can happen around elections, which is, again, what most developed Western countries do. So, and they have different versions of that rule. There's ads you can run, you can't run ads within a certain period of time. You have public financing versus private financing. Those are rules around an election. That is a completely different issue than the government saying randomly you can and you can't invest in businesses.
Why?
So you're conflating those two issues that have nothing to do with one another.
Why?
So let's just
what does why mean?
Because
you believe in education, so why don't you believe in healthcare?
Because it's a free country, and I get to spend my money wherever I damn well please.
All right, very well done, Ben Shapiro. Now, a couple of things that you didn't see in that video before that was they were talking about money in politics. And Cenk Uygur is completely against it. The idea that corporations or you should be able to put as much money as you want into politics, it's wrong, he says. It's wrong. But see, when this Buddy Roemer guy gives $4 million to Cenk Uygur, whatever the hell his name is, and he gets to go and say whatever it is he wants, and it's political, and then he goes out on the road and speaks for Bernie Sanders in city after city after city after city, it is money. It cost him money to go do that. And for him to be able to do that, that should be considered a donation under the thought processes of the liberals. See, I agree with Ben Shapiro. You should be able to spend as much money for whatever it is you want and help a politician, don't help a politician. See, what guys like what the left wants to do is they want free advertising. They want government people, and that would mean, so every person who ever even thought about running for office would get free advertising. Your TV, your internet, everything would be free ads for politicians. Do you think that might get boring? See, the left never has causality in mind. They never think of what cause and effect, what happens after you do what you think you want to do. All they have is laser focus on, well, we don't like money because Republicans have money and the corporations are bad. Okay, do you want to get the union money out? Oh, no, union money, that's just the people talking. Right. And see, what the unions do is they put all that money into Democrat politicians. Then those Democrat politicians get the jobs, then they pay their union buddies back by giving them bigger city and state government contracts. And then this nasty cycle happens, and the only ones that get hosed are you and me. Let's see here. Jorge says, we're suffering a lot here in Rio de Janeiro, lack of safety, even with the army on the street. Maybe you can show something about it, brother. God bless you. You know what, Jorge? I got to get, I haven't seen, send me a link. I'll be happy to put it up. Joe says, love Ben Shapiro. Need more people like him in our political scene. He will not give in to anyone. He has the brains, guts, and knowledge to back it all up. By us, I mean the rational thinking, true Americans. Yeah, I've known Ben since he was 16 years old. He used to send me columns, and I used to go over them with him. And, he was always smart, and I'm very proud to see how far he's gone. Pamela says, Rusty, I think you should have Tomi Lahren on your show. She's awesome. She is awesome, and she's hot, too. Sure. Ronald wants to know, how the hell are they going to pay for the Olympics? Good question, although the Olympic Committee has given them a lot of money, promised them a lot of money, and they're going to use a lot of facilities that are already there. I actually like the idea of what they're going to do with the Olympics in L.A. They're going to use the Staples Center. They're going to use the stadium at UCLA, the stadium at U.S.C. They're going to use they're going to use the dorms at U.S.C. And so it's not going to cost as much as it would in some other country where they're just going to make stuff up from the get-go. So I think this is pretty good. Curtis says, let California move to Canada. Let's see. Joe says, keep California, dump the liberals, we'll have another beautiful state in our beautiful free world. George says, thank you, Rusty. Causality, few people get it. Thank you, George, for getting it yourself. Socialism is the way to go. I'm saying socialism is the way to go. Can you tell me, why you think socialism is the way to go, number one? And number two, can you tell me where it has worked before? I mean, we can wait. Oh, well, it's working great in the Scandinavian countries. Yeah, no, it's not. Oh, but free healthcare in Canada is working great. Yeah. No, it's not. See, those are all lies until you look and investigate and see the truth. Hey, listen, I wish it worked. I do. I wish we could all just pitch in a little bit of money and we all get free health care and free college and all these things for free. It'd be great. The problem is it just doesn't work. Just doesn't work. Joe says, oh, yes, Tomi Lahren is right up there with Ben Shapiro, and I agree. So hot. So hot. I don't know how old she is, though. I'm like, she looks like she's like 15 now to me. I'm getting old. Okay, another thing that was big in the news today. Kellyanne Conway she got promoted. Instead of Dice Scarducci, looks like she's doing a little bit better. Played just a little bit of her today. She was on with Bret Baier right in front of the White House. Let's play just a little bit of it here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.
Now, Kellyanne Conway, counselor to the president. Kellyanne, thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Brett.
Let me start with what's getting headlines. And the Washington Post story that got a lot of headlines. You just heard John report it, that the headline says, Trump dictated son's misleading statement on meeting with Russian lawyer. We heard what Sarah Huckabee Sanders said. Did the president dictate those words?
The president said that he weighed in the way any father would on the statement. He wasn't part of the email chain. He wasn't part of the meeting, certainly. We all know that nothing came of the meeting. There was no follow-up. There was no attempt to collude. Jared Kushner last week, I thought, did a masterful job of making a statement and certainly sharing what he knew behind closed doors with the relevant committees in the House and Senate, Brett. And the gravamen of that is he had texted an assistant and said, this meeting is basically worthless. Can you find a way to get me out? And so I know that Russia, as a coverage, has been lessening over the last week because I think people understand there's no evidence of collusion. We were promised Watergate. We got ordered nothing. And in addition, you now see the big Russia stories, if any, are this Fusion GPS getting money from the Russian government to assemble some phony dossier to try to hurt candidate Trump. That, I think, will continue to be investigated and should. When we think of Russia around here, we think of Hillary Clinton giving up 20% of the uranium rights, Bill Clinton get $500,000 in speaking fees. And one last thing. I think Bloomberg did a great job a couple weeks ago. Wall Street Journal followed up in a story. 6% of Americans said Russia is the most important issue to them and their families. 75% of the coverage had been about Russia. There's a huge disconnect between what people say is important to them and what they're being told is important to them.
Well, let me just clean up a couple things.
Yep.
Sarah
All
said
right. And you can watch the rest of that on Fox News if you would like. Hey, one thing I would like for you to do for me, if you would please, and that is support some of our sponsors. We got great sponsors. And these are the people that are putting their money where the mouth is. Australian Dream Arthritis Pain Relief Cream is an incredible product. It's good for arthritis pain. It's good for back pain. It's real medicine. And you just rub it right on where it hurts. And it's amazing on how quickly that pain goes away. I've had to use it for my backs. I use it for my legs when I go running. It's a great product. And, we don't spend a lot of time on commercials, but they are important. And these products are important. So that's what they look like, Australian Dream. And it's available at Walmart, Walgreens, and other great retailers. And it doesn't smell. It doesn't burn. It's not greasy. And it works. And there's an empty jar guarantee. You see that on the screen, the empty jar guarantee? What does that mean? It means you can use the entire jar. And if it doesn't work for you, don't worry. You can return it and get all your money back, but you're not going to want to do that because Australian Dream Arthritis Pain Relief Cream and Back Pain Relief Cream works. It really, really does. Please go check them out if you would, please. George ordered the Wax RX. Thank you, George. I got that right here, too. That's another incredible product. Wax RX, it's a system where you can clean your ears at home. It's a system just like doctors use, and it's not that expensive. And it works, and this box has 3 complete uses in it, as you can see. And it's safe for kids, safe for people 12 and up. It's a multi-step system that does what it says it's going to do. I get wax in my ears. It drives me nuts. It's probably because I wear headphones so much. But if you get wax in your ears, don't go to the doctor. You don't need to. You can get Wax RX. Again, it is the same ear washer purchased by doctors and clinics. It's very simple, and it works. It just works. Okay? And one more thing. My book. Available at Amazon only. 7 ways to win political debates with your liberal family and friends and still keep them as your family and friends. Look, Stacey Dash from Clueless. She loves the book. And Ben Shapiro loves the book. Who else wrote it here? Scotty Nell Hughes loves the book. The book's getting great reviews. You can find it at Amazon. It's only in paperback, and it's in Kindle version, and it's in audiobook. And it's cheap. It's like under $5 in most places. I think the book is a little bit more than $5, but the rest is about $5. It's great, and it's perfect for the summertime when you got to get together with your family and friends. It's funny, but you will also learn how to debate people and what it is that the left is trying to do, or your family and friends that are the lefty, what they're trying to do to get your goat and how you can stop them. It really is good. Joey says, very quick, Teresa's there checking in. Teresa's from Davis, California. Hey, Teresa. I used to live right by there. I lived in Vacaville and Sassoon City. I have family in that area. Dave is in Southern Oregon. We want the state of Jefferson. Okay, state of Jefferson is I believe it's Southern Oregon and Northern California. Is that right, Dave? And they would like to separate because those are conservative areas as opposed to Portland, which is super liberal, and San Francisco in the South, super liberal. So Southern Oregon, Northern California, they've been talking about this for a long, long time, the state of Jefferson. And there's been a lot of people that like the idea. It's never really had a lot of momentum, but this Cal exit is having a lot of momentum right now. So Again, I'm curious. Do you think California should leave? Justin says we cannot let California leave. There are a lot of people who live there that love our country. We can't abandon them. We must do everything we can to stop it peacefully. But as a last resort, as an absolute last resort, we must be ready to fight to stop this from happening. Let me ask you this. I agree. I don't think California should leave our union. But do you believe in the 10th Amendment, which is something that we seem to have forgotten about in our country, but states' rights? Shouldn't the state have the right to choose to leave? Your thoughts on that? Joey says, so we have 50 states, one union, the wonderful U.S.A. California, which is one of those, has no regard to the millions of dollars leaving that state that come from the middle class, when in it itself has more debt than a quarter of the country because of all the borrowed money all us taxpayers lent them to stay afloat. How about the few smart people in California and the 49 states boot people like that smart ass out of California and make something real out of California? It's insane for a man to make comments like he did and believe that the other 49 states should idly stand by and watch them continue to drag down our wonderful country. Great comment there, Joey. Thank you very much. Let's see here. Christy says they already consider themselves the state of Jefferson, whether it gets imposed or not. Jeremy says we should build a wall from Texas to Washington State to keep the snowflakes there. Though I live in Arizona, does that mean I'd be stuck behind the wall? George says, Rusty, could you put up a link for the audiobook? I couldn't find it on Amazon. George, it's there. Again, just look for my name, Rusty Humphries, on Amazon, or go to audible.com. Audible is an Amazon company, and if you've never gotten an audiobook from Audible and you sign up for Audible, you can get my audiobook for free by subscribing to Audible. I love audiobooks. So go get it again, Humphries. Let me see so you can spell it. Well, it's right down there. You can see how to spell it. RUSTY HUMPHRIES. HUMPHRIES. No Y. Why would you have a Y? No Y in Humphries. Kay says I'm not going to war over California. Joe says, hell no, they can't leave. Let the libs that want to go out. We will not give up a beautiful piece of land because of a handful of snowflakes. George says, I didn't look on Audible. I will try that. Please do. I think you'll enjoy the audiobook. It's a lot of fun. And it's less than 2 hours long. It's not expensive. Matter of fact, I'm totally getting ripped off on it. So go check it out. All right, anything else that's going on that has your attention? I'm trying to think. For me, Rusty, you're not a snowflake. I get my news from you since I work nights. Jeremy, well, good for you. You're a very smart individual. We're trying to do that every night here, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West. And if you miss it, you can get the Rusty Humphries Rebellion at iTunes and Stitcher and any place you get great podcasts. My website is available as well, rustylive.com, and I'd love for you to go there. And I really hope that you check out Right Wing News on Facebook all the time. Do me a favor, would you please? Give me some more hearts. Give me some love, some hearts, thumbs ups. Give us some shares. Let people know that this show is worth listening to and paying attention to. Also, if you would go to iTunes and subscribe and leave a comment, it really does make a difference. Also on my book at Amazon, if you'd buy it and leave a comment there and a review, it really does make a difference. We're not charging for the show, and anything you could do to help would be so appreciated. Thank you so much. May God bless you, and may God bless America. America. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.